Hello, Peanut Butter Jelly Time League owners. It's Wednesday. It must be time for another week in review. Time to take a look back at the week that was, week 4. Our game of the week, and it happens all the time. You score the second highest score in the league, and you just happen to be playing the guy who's the top scorer. This is what happened to Mambunga as he fell to the Pitons 95-141. The Pitons were the only team this week to score more than 100 points, and they did it with ease as they put 7 in double digits, led by preseason trade acquisition Arian Foster. I'm not sure which owner was dumb enough to trade him away. But Foster sat out the first quarter and a half of this game and still scored 32 on 131 rushing yards, including a 74-yard touchdown run, and he added another 56 through the air and another touchdown. Antonio Gates continues to have another big year after year after year with that guy. He had 28, Wayne had 23, and the list goes on. Mambunga was the only other team to even break 90, never mind 100, on a low-scoring Sunday. He was led by Rogers, 23, and Rogers only had 181 passing in that one, but he did have 3 touchdowns and added another couple of points by rushing for 20 yards. The T-Dub Simon game was decided on Monday night, and I'm sure that going into that game, T-Dub felt pretty good. It was a 77-77 tie. And he had Marshall going against Gotkowski, the kicker for New England. He probably figured he got this thing wrapped up in the bag, no problem. Not so fast, my friend. Brandon Marshall goes on to score only 5 points on Monday night. Gotkowski scores 11, including 5 extra points, benefiting from all those special team touchdowns that the Patriots had. Final on this one, Simon 88. T-Dub 82. Simon had 5 in double digits, led by Peyton Manning's 26 on 352 and 2 touchdowns. I gave you an update on Manning last week. Manning finally threw his first interception here in week 4. 3 others had 12, and Gotkowski, the kicker, had 11. T-Dub had 2 in double digits, led by the rejuvenated LT, 29 on 133 there and 2 touchdowns. And LT's old teammate Rivers had 21. We played the annual White Bowl this past week. Pilot Lights topped the Dogs 83-59. Pilot Lights placed 5 in double digits, led by the NFL's other Peyton Hillis. Hillis went for over 100 yards for the second week in a row, scored 18 points in his win. LaShawn McCoy had 17, Keller 14, and Brady only 12. Again, Brady didn't really need to do much in that game, even though the team scored 41. The Patriots D, keep talking about Patriots D, they scored 32 points out on the free agent wire. For the Dogs, more of the same, unable to break into the win column again this week. They had 3 in double digits, led by Schaub's 19. So back to the drawing board for the Dogs. Sheboygan Headbangers off to their best start ever as they moved to 3-1 after their victory over the Rockers, 81-62. We had an MJD sighting in this game. He led the way for the Bangers with 25 on 105 yards rushing and 2 total touchdowns. The previous 3 weeks combined, MJD totaled 20 points. Combined. He had 25 in this contest. Driver and Ryan had 13, and Roddy White had 12, with the others in double digits for the Sheboygan Headbangers. The Rockers continue to play free agent roulette with 6 of 8 starters this week having been taken off the waiver wire. Gotkowski subbing for Romo on a bye led the way with 18. However, the previously hot teammate Lewis Murphy didn't live up to his end of the world-famous Gotkowski to Murphy hookup, soon to be up there with Montana and Rice and Manning and Harrison and Manning and Wayne and Manning and not Blair White, because the Blair White project is also over on the Rockers team. Murphy had the big fat 0. As a matter of fact, I had 6 active wide receivers, 6 wide receivers on my roster who were active on Sunday. They combined for a total of 10 points. But you already knew that from the Love 'em Hate 'em segment. Hope you enjoyed that, by the way. And remember, what goes on to the Peanut Butter Jelly Time League webpage stays on the Peanut Butter Jelly Time League webpage. Let's see, where were we? The Rockers, my rocker kicker, he tied the 10 points just by himself. What are you going to do? So Rockers went out. They got 2 more wide receivers for a record of 8 wide receivers on my roster. Again, anyone wants to trade a decent wide receiver, give me a call. In another low-scoring game, Loose Cannon beat the Monkeys 76-61. Loose Cannon only had 2 in double digits, but was led by T.O. in his 222-yard day, including a 78-yard touchdown reception, for a total of 34 points and the individual high score of the weekend. But Pac D had 17 for Loose Cannon in the win. The Monkeys had 3 in double digits, led by the Jets D with 15, Flacco had 14, and Kading had 11. As bad as that game was, it couldn't come close to the dog of the week, or in this case, the cat of the week. Cats topped Master Killer 56-36. The Cats had 2 in double digits, 20 of their 56 points coming from Calvin Johnson. The Falcon D had 13. Only 1 in double digits from Master Killer, who was only 10 points away from the lowest score ever, and that was McFadden in his 12 points. How about the starting quarterbacks in this game? We had Eli against Cutler, and this was the real-life game as well. Eli scored 3 points. Cutler went out with a concussion after totaling -3 points. So those 2 quarterbacks combined for 0 points in that contest. I think the total sack number against the 3 Bears quarterbacks that came in at one time or another in that game was like 10. Unbelievable. Okay, pool updates. Survivor. Steve, Mike, James, and myself all make it through the weekend. However, Mike, James, and myself were sweating it there a little bit. We needed a last-second field goal by New Orleans to squeak by in advance. But we all lived to see another week. In the Pick'em, man, Bunga holds the lead. He had 3 4-point weeks to start, and he follows it up with a 5-point week. So he's in first place with 17 points. Pilot Lights are second with 15. The Rockers are third with 14. A little mention to the Cats, who picked all 6 games correctly this past weekend. We had a couple big trades in the real-life NFL. Yesterday, Marshawn Lynch went to Seattle, partnered up with his old college roommate from Cal, Justin Forsett, and probably lowers Justin Forsett's value. Rocker. The blockbuster trade was consummated this morning, as a matter of fact, sending Randy Moss from the Patriots back to Minnesota. So now Mike actually has 2 receivers on different teams now. Looking forward to the games this coming week. We have one huge game on this slate. We have the Pilot Lights and the Pitons getting together for a little throwdown. Both teams at 3-1. Both teams leading their division. Let's go Lights. Alright, so that's the deal. You guys have a great week. And we're going to give you a Tony Reale paper toss. I missed.